had my GoPro mount set for when I was sitting down, and it showed you this cockpit area pretty good. But today you're probably going to see a lot of just open air free riding. I didn't think about the standing up part. Yeah, I do two-stroke noises. The movie industry has called me in on several occasions. Oh, yeah, that was woohoo! Actually, when you take the TDUB video footage and you scrub it forward at 20x, it sounds like a two-stroke. So good to be back out here. Oh my goodness gracious. I think these Garnier oil balanced boots are going to be the business today, because I know I'm going to sneak up on one of these mud holes and catch me out, catch a little splash. Right about now I'm wishing I would have added those leggings in. I was talking to my wife on the way out here. I'm like, heck yeah, I got my super pants that I'm going to wear underneath. And then I get out here and it was like really nice. And then, of course, those clouds are coming this way. Okay, today we're camping in a campground that I've never camped in before, but it's off the 247. We're kind of like going toward Barstow from Lucerne, and we're going to the lava tubes, which I've been before. Dylan over at Icon Suspension, he showed them to me one day when we're doing some rap touring. We're doing the Raptor testing. I went on a mission with him. But yeah, I've been following the map. There's always the brands. Hey! Hey, buddy! Got splizzast. Hopefully that didn't create too much. All right, I'm going to cut off of here. We're going to save this battery for some good stuff. All right, over and out. No harm, no foul. Just because you didn't go up that hill, look at all this desert. There's always more than one way around. And yeah, being hero, punk rock, Mr. Badass, I climbed that hill. Okay, cool, but you got to go off the other side, and that hill's not the destination. Check out the desert. Yeehaw. Must be repairing a gas line or telephone line. Oh yeah, big pump. And there you have it. You never know what you're going to see in the desert. There's so much stuff running underground here. I would highly encourage you to get a book. It's about the Mojave Road. It's the history of the Mojave Road, and it was the original wagon trail from Laughlin to Barstow. And yeah, look, that's an old homestead right there. How cool is that? Yeah, the Mojave Trail Guide, you can get it on Amazon. They have a website. I try to buy it as direct as possible to support the guys that made the book. It's been around for a bunch of years, but the author was originally in the military from back east, was stationed out here, fell in love with the desert, started going back and forth to DC, finding out who owned all this land and where it was and what was going on and yada yada yada. Him and his Jeep club actually kind of rediscovered the original route and went back and documented the whole thing. And you can go drive. It's 140 miles. My wife and I loaded up in the Land Cruiser, and we took 3 days. And I would suggest don't push it any further. It's like about 40 miles a day. I mean, yeah, you can get in a truck and blast it in a day, but you're literally going to miss everything. You're gonna miss the whole blooming desert. But it's such a cool trail. It's on mine and Nick's to-do list with the T-dubs here. We'll spend 3 to 5 days knocking around. I could spend a week. There's just so much to see, and the book is really cool because it reads like a story. In the back it has all the GPS coordinates, it has the maps and everything. So weeks before my trip, you know, I'm not a big computer nerd, but I do know how to type, so I just sat there and typed in all the coordinates and built myself a Google Map trail. It was super rad because now when we started the trip, my wife started reading the book, and she had something to do while we were going across the trail. She was navigating and telling us about all the stuff on the trail. I know that the Indians of the Mojave came all the way down to the Indians of the Santa Anas, which is Mount Nick's mountain, Saddleback. You know, that's technically the Santa Ana Mountains. So I'm like, man, these Indians had to have hiked days to get across. So that was like, all right, that was my intrigue with this whole thing. So the book actually talks about all the water holes and all that. And that was my mission, is like, I wanted to go find all the water holes, see if it's, you know, still in existence, see if it's technically still doable. And for the large part, they're all still there. I think there was only 2 water holes that have dried up since then. And look at this, and a little overcast fog right there, and I feel the temperature dropping. Steep hill. Such crazy terrain out here. Giddy up. Woo, look at that view. Alright, Nick's taking us on a little side ski mission. Backcountry discovery route, sand training on. I met those guys at the motorcycle show in Long Beach, and that was my first mission. It's like, hey, can we do this on TDUB? And they're like, yeah. What's the hardest section? They said there's a 8-mile sand section down south out of Yuma. He said you could bypass it. Like, man, that's just not my style though. Oh, this is a total dead end, like horseshoe corral right here. Oh, some crazy overhang. It's so soft and wet, but it's got a little better traction than when it's dry. This is rad. Yeah, this is totally water overflow coming off of there. That's where all the sand is from. Bending the earth.
My beautiful hair.
Bye-bye little OK corral. Going up another hill here. It's rad. We just came out of that little canyon right there. Going up and over, checking out the views. I think this is Daggett. Barstow's around this way to the left, and up ahead is Baker, where the world's tallest thermometer is. Yeah, sometimes you have to make some movement on the map to see where you're at. So, okay, sweet. Just out here riding around in the desert. So epic! Look at this desert highway, farmland out there. That just watched the sustainablefarmfilm.com, the whole movement of going back to the way it was originally without big corporate pesticides and chemicals and genetically modified everything. America's kind of finally figuring out that we're behind the 8 ball. See, look, there's another catch you out spot, and then it like has a nice little ramp for you and sends you over to the 50-50 rail grind on the coping there. That's why you gotta be checked up out here in the desert. You can't just be running wild and loose. You can run wild and loose in the desert. That's the cool thing about it. The desert's not gonna kill you, but you'll kill yourself in the desert if you ain't careful. Keep it checked up. Enjoy the ride. This looks like a massive ramp. Terrain changes, the weather changes every 2 minutes. There's a super smooth dirt road, and then you see the sand mixing in and the gravel. Everything's just running kind of right to left. We're traversing this like long ridge ledge that just kind of crosses the road. You have to be careful where you see the water crosses and makes nice square edges. My TCS suspension, soaking it up. Bah. Oh yeah, G out. Ooh. Yep, that's the kind of stuff right there you just gotta be ready for. Generally, I'll run like 12 to 14 pounds of air when I'm out riding in the woods. The desert, I tend to run a little higher, just because I don't have a whole lot of suspension, a whole whopping 6 inches. So when you come up on a rock that's 2 inches, you know, your tires got to soak up some of it, but you can't let it be so low that it pinches the tube. So you gotta kind of keep that tire up. So I'm probably running in 16 to 18 PSI category today. I've also been playing around with, like, the harder you run the tire, the better the gas mileage. You know, you gotta stretch the range out of old Betsy here, because I don't have a desert tank yet, but I will have one. We're just out exploring. See that big rock? Woo! You just gotta know that your tire will deflect it, gonna soak up all your suspension. And that's where you just can't override the bike, because you gotta be prepared for what's about to hit you. I guess that's kind of part of the cool thing about the TDUB, is if I was on the XR out here, all this stuff would be lame. I'd have to be running at 45, 50 for it to be like, alright, cool. But you know, you're cruising out here at 35, 40. You know, it's not bad. It's just a different kind of mindset riding a little TDUB out here in the desert. It gets really for real. But small bike gives you the confidence, and it's got the go. But you do actually feel like you're doing the dang Baja 500 by the time you get finished with a 100-mile day out here. 100 miles in the desert, and anything is 100 miles in the desert. So doing it on the TDUB is just as taxing as doing it on a big CRF or big YZ RM or a KX. Yeah, those bikes can go faster and better suited for this kind of stuff, but you can do it on a TDUB. Woohoo! And I ain't mad at it. Oh, I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't be riding like this on stock suspension because it just sucks. Not at this speed. What am I doing? I'm doing 40. So yeah, having suspension, especially when it's built by TCS, it's not just a stock spring replacement. He actually goes in and does custom modifications, makes it sit up better. So it's definitely giving me the confidence to push the bike, and you're just not as fatigued at the end of the day. I see tracks turning around. See if Nick goes down the center, if he's going to scrub the side. I see side tracks over here. I'm going to try this. avoided the little mud hole. I don't know why I get all cocked up in that stuff. It's pretty sandy right here. Yeah, look, all these big trucks flying through the desert. That's the 40 freeway going through here. Someone's lost t-shirt. There's a marker. It's a t-shirt party right here. Bouldery again. Just traversing through the desert.